Let's talk about the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. Okay.
I'm not gonna be able to do the whole video with that on my face because I can't see and it's hard to hear with that. So we're gonna talk about the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer and kind of my expectations for the movie and the things that I'm worried about when it comes to the Mandalorian and Grogu. So first thing I'll say, I do like that they're bringing back, like, there's the huts in there, and it's also nice to be able to go to the movies and see a Star Wars movie. It's been a very long time since we've had Star Wars in an actual movie theater. So being able to go to the big screen, see the Empire and multiple huts and him fighting the huts is going to be a cool experience to see on the big screen. But selfishly, I wish they would have kept The Mandalorian on TV, on Disney Plus, because it was a way to really explore these characters and what they were doing and not feel like you need to rush things. And with this, with this being a movie, they're going to have to push this movie to people that might not have watched the TV show. This show has gone on for 3 seasons and it spilled over into the end of Boba Fett, which was a separate TV show. So my worry about this movie is if people go see this and word gets out that, oh, I don't know what's going on, I don't understand the storyline because there's three seasons of storyline that we don't know about, and this movie bombs in the box office, does that mean that we never see The Mandalorian and Grogu again because it failed in the box office? Like, why are we putting this in theaters when it was doing just fine on TV? I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys something. About 90% of you guys that watch this video are not subscribed to the channel. Don't be a weirdo. Subscribe to the channel. Don't be part of the 90%. Be a part of the 10%. And let's get that 10% to 90%. So 90% of you guys that are watching are actually subscribed. That would help me out a lot. Cost you nothing. It's free and I'd appreciate it. Are we going to see like Bo-Katan in the movies or Ahsoka, the Darksaber, Moff Gideon? There are so many things that were going on in the TV show that is it going to be resolved and tied up in a nice little bow at the end of this movie? Or are they going to try to do a sequel? Or are they going to try to go back to a TV show? Like, I'm not sure it's ever been done, but has there ever been multiple seasons of a TV show that then went to be a successful movie? The only one I can really think of is like Sex and the City. And the people that love Sex and the City don't love the movie. Because why would you? You're used to seeing it on TV. My biggest problem is it feels like that Disney and Star Wars are having a problem keeping The Mandalorian and Grogu away from each other. All right, quick break during this video for editorial announcement. So, full transparency, before I made this video, I watched the first 2 to 3 episodes of The Mandalorian of season 1 to kind of get a feel for the show before I started making the video. So I watched those first 2, 3 episodes and then I made this video. After I made the video, I proceeded to watch season 1 and season 2. So in this next part of the video, I talk about Grogu and the Mandalorian separating after season 3. I meant to say after season 2. Season 2 is where they went their separate ways and met back up in the Book of Boba Fett in that season finale. But I also want to kind of put in here that there were a lot of things that happened in the Book of Boba Fett that isn't really talked about in season 3 of The Mandalorian. So if you watch The Mandalorian all the way through, like I just recently did, you go from season 1, it goes straight to season 2, and then it goes to season 3. It doesn't take you to the Book of Boba Fett. It just goes straight to season 3. And there were a lot of things that happened in those 2 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett where Mando and Grogu were in. So like the spear that Din Djarin won, he loses that. It gets turned into armor because you can't have Beskar as a weapon because it'll break Beskar, and that's a risk. that Mandalorians can't afford. So he loses that spear. You hear about the Night of 1,000 Tears, where pretty much their entire planet got destroyed, and that's where they almost went extinct. You also see him training with the Darksaber and fighting to keep it. Like, a lot of people attempt to take that from him, and he has to go through his journey with that. He also gets an N1 starfighter as a replacement for the Razor Crest that got blown up in season 2. And then we also get to see from Grogu's perspective, him surviving Order 66, and past that, him choosing on, do I want to be a Mandalorian, or do I want to take Yoda's lightsaber from Luke Skywalker? Like, those are all pretty big moments that happened in the Book of Boba Fett that a lot of people would miss if they never watched that show. And a lot of people didn't watch that show because the show was not good, and word of mouth got out there that it wasn't good. So hopefully Disney and Star Wars can figure out a way to get all of this information, all of this lore about Grogu and the Mandalorian into the movie. But we'll see. But either way, back to the video. They cannot keep them separate. At the end of season 3, the Mandalorian decided to go his own way while Grogu went with Luke Skywalker to go train to be a Jedi. They left. That's how the season ended. Those two were separate. They had been together for 3 seasons, going on adventures, saving planets, going through, individual growth and growth as a unit. And then at the end of season 3, they were separated. And that was where I think we really could have got a great season 4, where it's like, okay, now we get Grogu and Luke Skywalker in that journey of him trying to train him to become a Jedi, and Mando kind of going back to what he was doing before. Maybe trying to forget about Grogu, maybe trying to bury himself in work, maybe trying to find himself, maybe questioning his religion. That was a possibility. But instead of doing that, they just brought them back together in 2 random episodes of Boba Fett, a terrible show. And they just were like, hey, actually, we're not going to keep them apart. We're just going to bring them back together and then go on to season 2. Or go on to season 3. You made it this far. If you have not liked the video at this point, what are you waiting for? Just like the video. Hit the like button right now. I'm talking to you. Make sure you like the video and subscribe and drop a comment. All that stuff. This is a threat. Not a threat, a warning. But it could be a threat. Just do it. I just feel like they missed the boat there. There was an opportunity for season 3 of The Mandalorian to be about Grogu's individual journey, the Mandalorian's individual journey. We watched those journeys individually, and then at the end of season 2, they come together, and they're 2 different people. They've gone on 2 separate journeys, and now let's bring those 2 different characters together, and now let's see how they work as a team now that things are different. That was the story right there. But instead, we're going to get a movie, and we know how execs are. They only care about the box office. So I'm rooting for this movie to be good. I'm going to see this in theaters. I want this to be a good movie. I want it to be a great movie. I just have my doubts. But at the end of the day, this is the way.
Thanks for watching, babe. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel.